It was a cold Tuesday night in late November, the kind that makes even silence feel heavier. I left work later than usual, close to 10 p.m. My office sat on the edge of town, near a stretch of empty lots and half-finished construction sites. The parking lot lights flickered, throwing pale yellow halos on the damp asphalt. I remember pulling my jacket tighter, walking toward my car, my breath fogging in the air, when I saw something on my windshield. It was a small, faded photograph, old, yellowing around the edges, the kind you'd find in a box from the 1980s. It was tucked neatly under my wiper blade. At first, I thought it was some kind of flyer or maybe a prank from one of my co-workers. But when I picked it up, my stomach dropped. It was a group photo, maybe taken 30 or 40 years ago, showing about 10 people standing in front of what looked like an old diner. All of them smiling. Except one. The man in the far right corner looked directly into the camera, expressionless. His face was blurred, not by damage or age, but by what looked like deliberate scratching, like someone had carved lines across it with something sharp. Then I noticed the signature at the bottom. Written in blue ink, slightly faded but still visible, "See you soon, Danny." That's when I froze, because that's my name. Danny Harper. I looked closer, and my hands began to shake. Someone had drawn a circle around one of the smiling faces, a young man who looked eerily like me. Not exactly identical, but close enough to make my chest tighten. Then, someone had taken a black marker and drawn my current face, my beard, my hairstyle, the small scar near my left eyebrow, right over that circled figure. The drawing looked recent. The ink still glistened under the parking lot lights. I scanned the lot, my eyes darting between the few remaining cars. Nobody was there. Just the hum of distant traffic and a flickering streetlight. My first thought was that it had to be a prank. Someone from work who knew me too well, maybe found an old photo online, edited it to creep me out. But no one could have drawn my face so accurately without being close to me, or watching me. I shoved the photo into my jacket pocket, started the car, and drove home with my heart pounding. The road seemed darker than usual, and every passing shadow made me glance over my shoulder. By the next morning, I convinced myself it was a joke. I even told a coworker about it, half laughing, trying to sound casual, but the expression on her face told me she wasn't buying it. "You should throw it away," she said. "That's messed up." But I didn't throw it away. Something about that photograph felt unfinished. Like there was something I was missing. That night, I decided to look closer. I scanned it under better light at my desk. The diner in the background had a name above it, Mary's Place, estimated 1983. I googled it, and to my surprise, it actually existed. Or rather, it was an old diner outside of town that burned down in the late 90s. There were even news articles about the fire. One of them included the same group photo, the exact one I had, only without the signature or the marker drawings. The article mentioned the people in the photo, staff members and regular customers who had posed together for the diner's anniversary. But here's the thing, the circled man wasn't listed in the names below. It was as if he had never existed. And in the version online, his face wasn't scratched out. I sat back in my chair, my skin prickling. Someone had taken that public photo, modified it, signed it, and left it on my car. Why me? What did "see you soon" mean? That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 2:30 a.m., I got up for water and noticed a shape outside my living room window. Just a shadow, maybe. But it was standing still, like someone was watching the house. I turned off the lights and moved closer, my heart in my throat. The street was empty. But when I stepped outside, the night was silent in a way that felt intentional. Then I saw it, resting on my front steps. Another photograph. This time, it was a zoomed-in crop of the same diner image, but only showing that circled man. And once again, my modern face was drawn over his. But there was something else, a faint outline behind him in the photo, like a reflection in a window. A face barely visible, watching from behind the glass. And on the back of the photo, in the same faded blue ink, almost time. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. The next morning, I went to the police. They looked at the photos, asked if I had enemies or anyone who might be stalking me. I said no. They took a report but didn't seem too interested, probably thought I was overreacting. Could be a prank, the officer said. People do weird things online these days. But by the time I got home, something had changed. My front door was slightly ajar. Inside, everything looked normal, except for one thing. The photo I had left on my desk was gone. In its place, there was another, brand new, sitting perfectly centered on my kitchen table. It was taken from outside my house. Through the window. It showed me, sitting on my couch the previous night, holding the photograph in my hand. And written across the bottom, in the same blue ink, were 3 words that froze my blood. Smile for history. I backed away, feeling sick. I grabbed my keys, ready to leave, but something caught my eye on the living room wall. Above the couch hung an old decorative mirror I'd bought at a thrift store months ago. For the first time, I noticed the faintest writing etched into the corner of the glass, almost invisible unless the light hit it just right. It said, Mary's Place, 1983. My entire body went cold. That mirror had come from the same diner. It took me weeks to move out. I never found out who left the photos or how they knew so much about me. But sometimes, I dream of that photo, of those smiling people frozen in time. In the dream, I'm the one in the circled spot now. And someone standing behind me, holding a camera. Every time I wake up, I check my car windshield. And I swear, some mornings, I can smell smoke, like something still burning, far away.